I got my PhD in linguistics in 1987. Then I came to work in Poland when the British Council was launching English language teacher training colleges. And since 1992, I've been an academic teacher. Currently, I'm an associate professor at the State University of Rzeszów in Poland. The subjects I specialize in are didactics of English as a foreign language, intercultural communication, technical translation, business English, academic writing, and grammar. I have first-hand experience in raising 4 bilingual children. Introduction. It's been noticed that Slavic L1 learners of English make mistakes in using verb forms due to the transfer of the L1 grammatical system, that is, the grammatical concepts, onto the English language. And the goal of this study was to show how the wording of grammatical explanations in English influences the conceptualization of grammatical items by the students. The theoretical background to my studies can be found in the works of many authors who point to the fact that grammatical items convey concepts, ideas, meanings, which can be explained to language learners or grasped by them intuitively, and they derive from embodied human experience where mental processes in semantics and grammar play a critical role. Others indicate that the interference of two languages is not always beneficial, especially in adult learners where the brain letterization is coupled with fossilization, and they explain this phenomenon as being due to external and internal factors. And one of the factors the authors mention is the lack of proper instruction. In my study, I also consider the authors who discuss the conceptual differences between Slavic and Germanic languages, such as Laura Janda, who, among others, points to the fatalism in Slavic languages, which does not reveal itself in the Germanic languages. A group of 127 university students at BA and MA levels were asked to do the transformations between the present and past time on the constructions which are most prone to the conceptual differences between the two language systems. As a research question, I'm asking how the wording and structure of the explanation correlate with the correctness of handling the grammatical items, respectively corrupting the message or otherwise making it adequate. Methodologically, the students were offered to do the transformation exercise on the included grammatical items and then justify their answer. Their explanations of the right and the wrong answers were grouped and calculated. The results are presented in the following table. Discussion. Due to the fact that the pass level at the university scale is 60%, I'd like to discuss only the wrong answers, that is, those that failed the test. And such constructions include the variety of the passive voice, which is subject plus passive verb plus to infinitive, the constructions with wish, and all the varieties of its time construction. Common feature in the students' justifications of the wrong answers was a direct shift between the present and past verb form in the case of tense use, and the association of the perfect infinitive with the past time. The construction, the passive voice construction, was done correctly when both verbs, the predicate verb and the other verb, were in the same time area. But in the second example, they said he lived there. The verb lived, used in the past tense, immediately triggered the perfect infinitive. In the explanations to the correct answers, I did not find any reasonable justification, so the correct answers were given intuitively, but the answers did not provide a straightforward explanation that the form of this infinitive depends on the correlation to the reference point, which is the predicate. And there can be only two opportunities here that this verb expressed in by the infinitive can be either at the same time with the predicate verb, or it can be previous in time to the predicate verb. In the case of the wish construction, the first sentence in the present time was done correctly, but the shift of the verb wish to the past time, suggested by the verb regretted, immediately launched the wrong past perfect form for be. And even in the correct answers, there was no explanation why they did it, so they just did it intuitively or by analogy somehow, but I didn't find the explanation that in example 1 and 2 there is a similar situation. Both verbs, regret and be, are parallel in time, no matter where, parallel in the present time or parallel in the past time, while the wrong answers were justified by commonly known explanation that in the wish construction we use the past tense for the present time, and we use past perfect tense for the past time. The construction its time is interesting because here we can find both the infinitive and the tense, depending on absence or presence of the object. So without the object, the wrong answers provided the perfect infinitive just by the same fact that it is associated with the past time, while with the object, as an example 2, the past perfect tense was explained by the rules known from the reported speech as backshift of tenses. Again, the students did not notice that here we mean either the action do is parallel in time with the activity say, or it is previous in time. So why is this part so confusing? I found the answer in the fact that in Slavic languages the grammatical past is one. It's all the space before now. While in English, the grammatical past includes three areas: open past, closed past, and before past. And the thing is that in Slavic languages, we refer to these three areas by using the same verb form. Respectively, when a Slavic L1 language user needs to switch to the English language, they should stop and think which of the three areas in English this form falls in. As another implication, I can point to the fact that in order to improve the navigation of L1 Slavic language learners in the English past time, it is enough to implant in their mindset the concept that all non-perfect forms in English, both tenses and infinitives, imply parallelism with the point of reference, while perfect forms imply previousness. Also, the word past in grammar books and in explanations of grammar should not be correlated with those situations where a perfect form is to be used. As a suggestion for further research, I'd like to see how my findings correlate between English and other Slavic languages than Polish, Russian, and Ukrainian. You are also invited to read my article if it appears in Language Teaching Research Quarterly, where I provide more examples and broader discussion of this subject. Thank you all.